Hola, this is Marcus with another Spanish lesson for you. Just a couple of points before we begin. Firstly, this lesson was designed for people who've gone through my Synergy Spanish course. If you haven't done that course, no biggie. You can probably still enjoy this lesson, especially if you've already started to find your feet with the Spanish language. If not, if you find this lesson difficult, you might want to check out synergyspanish.com. The Spanish we're going to use in this lesson is what's known as formal Spanish. It's the most respectful way to speak, and it's often the best way to talk to strangers. So let's begin with hard Spanish made easy. One of the most confusing parts of Spanish is the so-called reflexive verb and the reflexive pronoun,
Se,
which most lessons teach to mean oneself, myself, yourself, himself, herself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, etc. And sometimes that does make good sense. For example, with verbs like
controlarse,
to control oneself,
defenderse,
to defend oneself,
dedicarse,
to dedicate oneself. With those verbs, and many others, the meaning is very clear. But it gets very confusing when you see verbs like,
irse,
if we were to translate that with an English pronoun, we'd end up with to go oneself, which wouldn't make much sense. Or what about the verb
enfermarse,
to sick oneself? Doesn't make much sense either, does it? What about
comunicarse,
that would mean to communicate with oneself. Again, doesn't make much sense. It turns out there's 7 ways to make these reflexive verbs easier to understand. So there's much more to these than meets the eye. The good thing is they can be made much easier to understand and use. We can't cover all the different ways of using reflexive verbs in just one lesson, but I'm going to show you a very easy way to give your Spanish a real boost and to give yourself a deeper understanding of these tricky reflexive verbs. So let's begin. Many Spanish reflexive verbs coincide with verbs in English that start with get. For example,
irse,
to get going,
levantarse,
to get up,
enojarse,
to get angry. Let's practice using these and several other reflexive verbs like them in real conversations. Say to get going.
irse,
Say you have to get going.
tiene que irse,
Ask, do you want to get going?
quiere irse,
Ask, do you want to get going now?
quiere irse ahora,
Listen to how you say, I want to get going.
Quiero irme.
Notice that
Irse.
change to.
Irme.
Say, I want to get going.
quiero irme,
Say, I don't want to get going.
No quiero irme.
Ask, do you want to get going now?
quiere irse ahora,
Reply, no, I don't want to get going.
No, no quiero irme.
Listen to how you make the formal command, remember.
recuerde,
Say, remember.
recuerde,
Say, remember that.
recuerde que,
You have to get going.
tiene que irse,
Before.
antes de,
Listen to 2 o'clock.
las 2,
Say before 2 o'clock.
Antes de las 2.
Say remember that.
Recuerde que.
You have to get going.
Tiene que irse.
Before 2 o'clock.
Antes de las 2.
Say remember that.
Recuerde que.
Listen to how you say to get up.
Levantarse.
Say to get up.
Levantarse.
Say you have to get up.
Tiene que levantarse.
Say remember that.
Recuerde que.
You have to get up.
Tiene que levantarse.
Say tomorrow you have to get up.
Mañana tiene que levantarse.
Early.
Temprano.
Say tomorrow you have to get up early.
Mañana tiene que levantarse temprano.
Say remember that.
Recuerde que.
Tomorrow you have to get up early.
Mañana tiene que levantarse temprano.
Ask, do you want to get going now?
¿Quiere irse ahora?
Reply no, I don't want to get going.
No, no quiero irme.
Say, remember that.
Recuerde que.
Tomorrow you have to get up early.
Mañana tiene que levantarse temprano.
In Spanish, to say you are right, you say you have the reason.
Tiene razón.
Using that expression, say you are right.
Tiene razón.
Yes, tomorrow I have to get up.
Sí, mañana tengo que levantarme.
Early.
Temprano.
Say tomorrow I have to get up early.
Mañana tengo que levantarme temprano.
Say you are right.
Tiene razón.
Tomorrow I have to get up early.
Mañana tengo que levantarme temprano.
I'm going to get going.
Voy a irme.
Goodbye, friends.
Adiós, amigos.
I have to get going.
Tengo que irme.
Thanks for inviting me.
Gracias por invitarme.
To the party.
A la fiesta.
Reply, you're going to get going?
¿Va a irse?
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because tomorrow
Porque mañana
I have to get up early.
tengo que levantarme temprano.
Say, thanks for inviting me.
Gracias por invitarme.
To the party.
A la fiesta.
Say, thanks for inviting me to the party.
Gracias por invitarme a la fiesta.
This is the end of part 1 of this Spanish multiplier.